Wow, look at us. We made it.
Hello.
We made it, everyone. We made it.
Hello.
You were so dumb.
Volume sounds good.
Does it? Sounds good?
Yeah.
Can you hear everybody? Everybody, let's do a quick mic check. Gina?
Hello.
You want me to do a mic check?
Okay, that's good enough for you. Bobby?
Hello. This is me talking.
Go ahead. Tom?
Hey there, it's me, Tom, talking right now, this second.
And Chris.
This is Chris.
Perfect. Okay. Whew. Are we, is everything set up? We're like in the right place? We're like doing D&D? Is that what's happening?
Looks good to me.
Okay, well then.
I thought this was online university. I'm sorry.
I'm in the wrong class.
All right, well, then let's get started, shall we? Welcome to the inaugural Tusk's Noodle Shop stream, the only D&D stream on Twitch that features us. So, I promise the jokes will get better the more episodes we film.
Oh, God, I hope so.
I can't promise that.
I promise nothing but this, and here it is. Okay, so this is just a little background for those of you who are seeing us for the first time, which is everyone, because you know this is the first time. But we're just a team of old family and friends that are here to play some D&D, and we decided we're gonna start off this little streaming adventure with the built-in adventure starter from the new like classical Greek mythology book, the Mythic Odysseys of Theros. And that adventure is called No Silent Secret, despite the fact that every time I advertise the stream, I called it No Silent Secrets. So sorry, Wizards of the Coast. That's just the way it goes. Okay. Okay, so I don't know. Anyone got anything before we get started, or?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm excited. Look, who knows? Maybe we'll have nobody watching. Maybe 10 million people will log in and we'll crash Twitch's servers. That's likely, I think. Probably more likely. But either way, we're going to have a good time because we love
All we need to do is make sure that we hashtag this with Dr. Disrespect ban info.
Yeah, they call it, what do they call it? Like, they call it like,
Champions Club?
no, thumbnail baiting, right? It's where you like put like something on the screen for a while, right? So that when people see your thumbnail, it's like intriguing, right? And then they like jump in, you know? But yeah, next time we'll think about that. That'll be our splash screen.
I thought
Thank
that's
you,
what me and Gina were here for.
That's true. That's true. That's why we brought all the eye candy, right? So anyone here on stream think that I'm vamping because you know, I don't have anything planned, and so
Yes.
this is just
That's what I assumed.
it would not be the first time, certainly. That's for sure.
Nor would it ever be the last.
But not tonight, kids. Tonight we're streaming this adventure. No Silent Secrets. All right. So without any further ado, we're going to start this adventure. Well, one more ado, to be honest. One more, which is, you know, just know there's going to be a lot of mistakes, both D&D-wise, technology-wise. Things are going to go wrong. Just, you know, bear with us. We promise to get better over time. So,
Yeah, so be cool about it.
yeah, be cool, guys. I'm auto-moderating chat, so, you know, don't say anything weird.
To get better over time. But okay. Has to help me level up. It's fine.
Okay, so just a little backstory. The Mythic Odysseys of Theros is all pretty much about just sort of like it was built kind of like top down as like an analog of classic Greek mythology. So it's filled with you know, interactions between mortals and gods. It really focused a lot on the sort of tropes of ancient Greece. You know, the only playable characters are like humans and satyrs and minotaur, like things that you might think. Also, Leonin, which are lion men, which are I don't think classically Greek, but I don't know, kind of cool still, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be exploring that, and yeah, let's do this, shall we? So,
Let's.
no silent secret. No silent secret. All right, here we go. I said here we go, but remember, there's like, there's like all this stuff, right?
I thought it was a build-up. Sorry.
Yeah, no build up, just sort of,
I was like on the edge of my seat.
Here's my smooth transition from this ad that I have in our like main screen to our Roll20. Tell me what you think.
Is it for Blue Apron?
No, it's not for Blue Apron. It's for Raid Shadow Legends. No, just kidding. That would be great, though, right? Would it be? I don't know. Okay, so here we go. Let's get started already.
Should I have something other open to be watching what you're talking about?
Oh, you should have Roll20 open, right?
I have that open.
Yeah, no, you're good then. Okay. Here we go. So, players, you are a group of travelers that are on a road headed to one of Theros' great polis. Specifically, you're heading to Meletis. Did I say that right? Meletis? Anyone else read
All
the
made
book?
up, man.
Meletis?
Yeah.
Did we decide it's polis or polis, right?
I mean,
Polis?
I'm pretty sure we
Polis.
decided that whatever the right thing is, you're going to put the accent in the wrong place.
As is tradition.
That's
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
way.
So you are in a group of travelers on a road headed to Meletis, which is a great center for philosophical learning, magic arts, and it was founded by two great heroes, several hundred years ago, and since then has just kind of grown as this like center for learning and knowledge. It's on the coast. It has a large port, and you are with a group of travelers as you are headed towards the city. You may know each other. I know we talked about having a couple of connections. You may not know each other, but there are definitely more than just the five of you here. There's probably a little over a dozen people kind of walking. There's like a wagon or two, and everyone is walking towards this city. And as it does, the sun sinks low in the west, stretching shadows across the well-traveled road, only a mile or so from the polis's edge. At your current rate, you, along with the loose crowd of other travelers, should reach the polis outskirts just before dark. But not everyone is moving at a leisurely pace, though. Behind you, a horse rounds the bend, galloping at top speed. The beast looks frantic, terrified, frothing with exertion. Upon it sways a figure wearing a gold mask. The rider barely manages to stay in the saddle, his body bristling with cruel black arrows. Blind with panic, the horse plows on, threatening to trample all the travelers in its path. But before it can, the beast's legs give way, and both mount and rider topple, crashing into the dust with a piercing whinny and a sound like snapping branches. If you direct your attention to Roll20, you will see that it looks a little something like this.
I do see.
So here is your wagon, right? One of the other wagons continued on. The five of you are around here, and there's a couple other people just sort of milling about too. But you got, as you've been traveling towards the city, you've kind of gotten to know some of the people, you've spoken with them, and just from even your short interactions with these other people that there's something special about them. The gods of Theros, they always kind of put a little bit of themselves into special mortals, and you kind of feel that sense. You're not 100% sure anything unless you're an oracle of some type, but everyone that I've labeled out here are people who have shown like strong pieces of like strong personality, strong character, and here we are.
So he just
wagon.
rode up and kind of collapsed?
And just collapsed. And here he is, collapsed on the ground with his horse.
Okay, I kind of bound over. Nicandros, a tall, Excellent start. Like a tall 6'10", muscle-bound lion man with a big golden mane and a spear on his back. And I come loping over towards him. I say, "Sir, are you all right?"
So, as you get close to him, you notice that he is not, he's not doing well at all. I guess that's the best way we can say it. He's riddled with black arrows that are just like completely pierced through his entire body. The horse itself seems exhausted. It's like laying on its side, like breathing heavily. But the man is not moving at all. You can see that his wounds seem to be weeping like this black blood. Something interesting about him as you approach is he's wearing what appears to be a funerary mask. And while most funerary masks are made of clay, this one seems to be cast out of gold, which is not completely unheard of, but if anyone wants to make an intelligence check, maybe I can give you some more information. Just a raw intelligence check.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
I want to run up to the horse.
What's a raw intelligence check?
Just no proficiency, no skills. Just like roll die 20 and add your intelligence bonus.
22.
22. Oh my
I rolled a
gosh.
20.
So did I!
Well, you guys know this guy's name. You know his family history. No, I'm just kidding.
First roll of the campaign.
It's the
All
only
right, it's done,
20 I'll
guys.
roll.
It's done. Wrap it up.
17 for me.
Okay, so
I'd rather not say.
And that is your right.
information, Gina.
so you notice that this man is not a traditional mortal at all. In fact, his dress, his funerary mask, and his sort of gray, pallid skin, you recognize him as one of the returned. So the returned are mortals who have died, gone to the underworld, and have somehow been able to escape that fate. But when they return, they're not the same. They are just shells of their former self. Their memories are completely lost, and even their face has lost all emotion, all personality, and they just have these like blank, hollow eyes, black, thin lips, and they just are shells of themselves, kind of going through the motions of life.
Sad.
That's pretty eerie.
Damn.
Also, I gave everyone control of their characters in roll 20, so if you want to, you can do that.
Can I go? I want to check on the horse. So Nicandros runs to the guy, and I go, "Oh no, horsey!"
Mm-hmm.
When you were describing the returned, I thought you were describing me.
I was gonna say, since quarantine, that's how I feel, honestly.
Yeah,
Just gray.
we all got a little bit of returned in us these
He
days.
just needs a skincare routine, you guys.
I take his mask off, and I say, "This appears to be one of those poor souls that's escaped the underworld."
So you can see, just sort of by his mask, he seems, as we described earlier, his face is expressionless. He has like hollow, like zombie-esque eyes, thin black lips, and that mask is heavy. And picking it up, you really do believe that it is likely that it based off your first sort of like impression, that you do think it is actually made of gold.
Oh. Quick technical note. Our video feeds seem to have swapped around.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that as well.
Oh.
I have my video is going in and out, a little bit of connection issue.
Oh, that's what happened. Yeah, if anyone disconnects, it cycles everybody. So you know what? Let me see if I can fix that real fast while we somebody vamp, say something funny.
Something funny.
Super easy.
Right? I'm gonna be so funny when you say it.
Yeah.
Let's play a game.
Don't
It's
think of
called
pink
Guess
elephant.
My Name.
I'm not Fury. Maybe we should just take off the names and then just not worry about it.
I know. In the future, I will do that.
And then, if we swap around, it'll just be like, now, people's eyes won't glaze over. They'll have to actually find us again.
Actually, you know what?
Musical pillars.
Maybe
Yeah.
I will just do that. I think that'll actually be kind of easy. Hold on. I gotta put you back now
Seldom
because
is an
I messed you up.
attention technique to
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's
Next
There's a
week, it
quiz
should
at
not
the
be
end.
as big of an issue with internet connectivity for me. Sorry.
That's true.
Okay.
Chris is not at home at the moment, so it's a little trickier.
Oh, where
He's
are
he's in
I'm in La Jolla.
he's in rehab.
Beautiful
Wow, way to
La Jolla.
dox him. Way to dox him.
Thank you.
Everybody get him.
For some reason, my Zoom went way out as well, apparently.
But don't bark at me.
We're about to fix this. I promise.
Chris, I've only been to La Jolla once, but I went to a fancy ice cream bar place there called Bardo.
I don't know. I went to school down here at UCSD, and I couldn't tell you half the places that are around here now.
All right, guys, we should be fixed now. I think we're fixed. I just got rid of the names.
I would say, why don't we all describe our characters?
Yeah, that's a great place to start.
So I'm tall lion man. I've got a huge spear and a Spartan shield, like a roundish Spartan-esque shield. We're wearing like bronze and armor with blue trims and whatnot. Very tall. That's Nicandros.
I am Fury, the undying Fury, and I am a tall 6'4" human, shorter than Nicandros, but I'm still quite strong-looking, muscular, and athletic, with long white hair and blue, currently at the moment anyway, blue eyes, and I'm not really wearing very much at the moment, only a little bit to cover my lower end.
Oh my!
And
To cover your shame.
cover my shame. And with currently probably the helmet on to obscuring my face a little. And my weapon is a very large axe, ruined axe. And yeah, that's Fury.
I'll go next. So this is Rhea. She is about 5'5", and she's humanoid, but she is Nyx-born, so she's got this, cool, starry, celestial effect to her skin. Looks-wise, she is festival ready with large braids and floral crown and some gauzy embroidered something as she's running along in this wagon trail and checking on this poor horse.
All right. Well, I'm Calliope, and I am a punky redhead satyr. So I'm short and shortish, and my lower end is covered in a tawny fur, and I'm wearing light leather armor, but it's it's a strappy sort of punky get up, and yeah, I'm just jumping around, here to have a good time.
Yeah.
Here for a good time, not for a long time. Yeah.
I'm Searzith. I am a Seer. Wow, I really pronounced that one great. My own name, Searzith. Seer is a good name for short for me. 6'1", lizard-looking man. Got to get some gills going on. Strike a relatively, I think, slender figure. Blend in a crowd of lizard people.
Of fish people.
I'd also like to point out that as we were developing these characters, I had them tell me their heights because I was doing some drawing, and I wanted everybody, I wanted to know kind of what the relative heights were. And despite the fact that the average height in ancient Greece was 5'1", every single person in this party is over 6 feet tall. So you're all a bunch of tall giants.
I
We can
have
start
to
a
be
basketball team.
5'1" every day of my life.
It's true. She lives
I
the
want to
life.
do something different. I shot for the stars at 5'5".
Aim high, baby.
Rhea, was that? Did I say it right? Rhea, sorry, Rhea. Can you roll? Do you have any sort of animal handling or medicine, anything like that?
No, I do not.
Well, let's do it. Let's just roll a nice wisdom check then, shall we?
Okay. I need to consolidate this dice box. Note to self. And all of Twitch. And you guys. That's not gonna. Okay. A wisdom check, huh? Well, I rolled a 2, so that would
Good
make
start.
the wisdom check a big fat 5.
Do you say a 5?
Yes.
Oh. You're not even sure this is a horse, to be honest. You know,
What about this other man he came riding in on? Let's check on him.
This man is deformed. Something is wrong with him.
Something terrible has happened.
No, I mean, the horse looks like it's not in good shape to you. Like, you likely think that it's gonna die.
I tried to bring it some water.
But as you're, okay, so you're getting some water for it?
Sure.
All right, so you grab some water, and as you're like distributing this water to the horse, that's how you say it, right? That's how you humans say it.
Water.
Distributing water.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's how a normal human man would say.
As you're distributing this water to the horse, you notice that on its bridle, you can see the horse's name, and it is Fotina. In case you were curious, Fotina.
Okay. I stroke her hair.
His horses
okay,
were
Fotina,
tied.
You're gonna be okay.
She neighs lazily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try to give her some water.
I can't suffer lazy horses. I think I dispatch it.
I pull out my revolver.
Look, I grew up on a farm. I understand these things.
You're a beast of burden, horse.
So this man is definitely dead, right?
Nicandros, as you're looking at this man, he is dead, but he's been dead for an awfully long time because he is one of those returned, right?
Right.
He died and came back from the underworld. But,
Zombie man.
Is
Double
he
dead.
dead? He just
are you touching the body? Are you examining it? Or are you just looking?
Did he fall like that?
Yes.
As pictured? Okay, I'm gonna
As
kind of
pictured.
grab him and roll him up on his side because obviously he's got arrows in his back, right?
Yes. Many
So,
arrows. And he's
I can't-
oozing black blood.
Is that normal for a return?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of ease him up on his side and kind of get a better look at his body / face.
Well, his face is covered by that gold funerary mask, but his
Okay.
body is, kind of dressed in sort of just very simple clothes, nothing recognizable. Any return that you've seen or heard about in the past kind of dress very similarly in sort of just this like nice like very simple clothing that doesn't make them stand out at all.
Say, friend, are you dead, friend?
He doesn't seem to be saying anything, but you can't see his face because of the mask, so you're not sure if he's
I take it off.
responding. Underneath, you see the horrific face of a returned, right? It's this blank gray flesh with this black-lipped mouth. But this heavy mask, right, that you're looking at, as you're kind of pulling it off, you notice the back of it is etched, like with tons of symbols all over the back of it.
Wow. I look at the mask and I turn it around to everyone and I say, is this normal for a mask?
Anyone can roll a knowledge religion if you like.
I've never been dead.
Well, of course not.
I
If you were
21.
dead, you wouldn't be here.
You know, that's an excellent point.
All right, so Sirzix,
Perfect.
as a holy man yourself, you do know that sometimes things are carved in these masks, but very rarely. Like it's not common. Most often, the inside of the mask is just the inside of the mask.
I look to the party and I say, "This is nothing. It's just it's a worthless mask. I'll take it. I'll take it for us." I'll explain and say, traditionally these masks are blank on the inside. There's not there's nothing ornate or otherwise descript about them. This is something out of the ordinary. Can I roll to potentially try to read some of the runes?
Yeah, let's say, why don't we do an let's see, 1 second. How about make just a raw intelligence check? So just die 20 plus your intelligence modifier.
Okay.
And if I can persuade it to tell me what it means.
Tell me your secrets, Mask.
Mask!
17.
17. So as you look over it, you realize that most of them are unreadable glyphs. You kind of recognize some from like some of your previous studies, but nothing where like you can actually like decipher it right now. But you do think that if you could get to a library in a major polis, you might be able to do a better job of decrypting it. One thing you are able to see though are 4 letters that are just like set out, very easy to distinguish from the rest of the glyphs, and those letters are K-H-E-A.
Well, that's dangerously close to my name.
Right?
Don't love that.
K-H.
Girl, is it a K or did the R get erased?
That's what I'm thinking. Is just a kind of smudge or some scratch going on.
K-H-E-A.
I'd like to give a consonant.
Okay.
Wait, IKEA. It's telling us to buy very affordable furniture.
Furniture.
So as you guys are investigating this mask and this body and this horse named Photinia, the sound of racing hooves rises like thunder from the direction that the fallen rider emerged.
Here come your friends. I say that to the horse.
2 more riders round the bend, both wearing dark tunics. The
You say they were
fading...
coming up around the bend.
Uh-huh. If you look, I've added them to Roll20. I didn't put horses on them, so...
It's like Monty Python. They're
What
just
am I
like
supposed to engage?
clapping
But
coconuts.
there are horses on them. They're rounding the bend, and as they do, they are, you can see, like, the fading light of sunset is glinting upon the snarling gold masks that they both wear.
Wait, where are they?
But are they different gold masks than the one this guy's wearing?
Slightly different, yes.
Where are they coming from?
They are to the southwest.
Oh, they still
Okay, but we're girls, so where?
I'm pinging it. You might have
I
to
see
zoom out a
it.
little.
I see it. Got it.
Okay.
Okay, so about 90 feet.
I
Yeah.
need like directions like next to the Jack in the Box or something.
So as they're riding towards you, they spot, everyone who's like kind of close to the body, and you can hear them from like 90 feet away shouting, and something that comes through, you can hear them say, "Get away from the heretic, bleeder!" And I want everyone to roll initiative.
Yeah.
What? What?
I don't like it.
Oh no. Okay.
My character's a pacifist. He doesn't ever fight. So
Oh, well, roll initiative to, do whatever you're going to do then.
check my email.
No. You
Yes.
guys.
Oh,
Roll
hot
initiative
trash.
to run away.
Ugh.
Okay, I need to freeze all of these dice.
Are we gonna shout it out?
Ooh,
or-
this is not good.
Mine's not high. It's not a high number.
Mine's all right.
Mine's decent.
22.
Okay, so we got 22 for Calliope. Anyone beat 22?
Yeah.
Depends. 14.
That does not beat 22, no.
Oh, I
Oh,
beat
no,
that though.
No.
I'm at a 16. 16.
Time
Six,
to go back to school.
16 for Cerzis.
Just call me Seer.
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 16.
Like a steak.
Yeah.
Seer.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
that's a
that'll
good
help me.
note
Good
for
mnemonic
that.
device. What else we got?
I doubt anyone can't beat my 4. So
I'm still at 14.
Okay, so we got 14 for Fury. Rhea, where'd you at?
Rhea has 8.
Ooh, good rolls, everyone.
So-
Good rolls tonight.
I'm feeling,
Rhea,
Roll.
I'm
then
feeling better about myself. Thanks, Nick Andros.
I'm like rolling pure chaos. My first roll was a 20. My second was a 3.
Perfect.
Okay. So these riders are quickly barreling towards you on these horses. The horses are just normal horses. They're not returned horses or anything creepy like that. They're just regular horses.
Oh my
But-
god, return to horses.
Is that a thing?
Well, it's a
not,
thing now. It's in my dreams.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
If it isn't, it will be. So they're barreling towards you. But you you spotted them, and your quick reflexes allowed you to jump into action. Most of you.
My
So
cat-like reflexes. I'm like, huh?
Calliope, you're up first. So these friendly returned, who shouted things like, get away from the heretic bleeder, are running towards you, snarling.
How close to me are they?
They are about, I think that's about 90 feet-ish. I don't know, I didn't actually measure it out. Let's look.
How many are there?
About 100 feet-ish. 110.
97-ish.
Depends who you are.
Okay.
Like, for instance, Seer over here forgot to move his character.
He's at a safe distance.
But I'm gonna assume that he was also examining the body, so I'm gonna put it
This roll 20 thing, it's like I can't auto find it, and apparently because I'm using a touchpad, everything disappears, and it's like, the hell am I doing?
Got you. I think everyone has control of their characters also. I think I made that.
Well, we do if I could actually touch it.
Okay, they're really far away from us at this point right now.
Is this me?
So I'm going to run away.
Yeah, you're the fish man.
I'm just kidding. Can I
run away?
well, can I just I don't know, kind of hold my turn until, can I just stay put for a minute?
Sure. Yeah, you want to stay put?
Well, I don't feel very tanky. So running into...
Is there anything that you want to do to prepare for what's...
Maybe pull out my rapier, which is, P.S., looks as though it's fashioned from the what do they call it? Horns?
A horn?
The horns of a satyr.
Yes.
Yes.
Horn of a satyr.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
slash horn.
okay.
Like me, like wielding a sword that's an arm bone.
Yeah. Also terrifying, right? Terrifying.
Right?
Like, did you kill the satyr that
Yeah,
is
but we get up to some
You believe it.
some hinky stuff in the Skull Vale. You don't know what's going on. It's like a frat party up there.
Like
all right, so Calliope, you're pulling your rapier. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I can move, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna just kind of... Okay, explain to me how this... Can I run?
Yes. So if you move only, you can move twice your movement. If you move and do an action, you can just move your movement. And everything on this map is on this map, right? So we got rocks and trees and bushes and wagons.
Oh, okay. Well, I am going to... I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. See, I should have rolled low so I could learn how to play D&D before my turn. Okay, so I'm going to... Well, I can move 35 feet, but if I employ a mirthful leap, because even in the face of danger, I am full of joy, I can roll a die 8 and add the number rolled to the number of feet that I am able to cover. And it says this extra distance costs movement as normal. So what does that mean?
Say it again.
This extra distance costs movement as normal.
Causes movement as normal. My guess...
This is the time in the stream where we interpret what the D&D authors decided to try to make. This is where Thaco came from, as well as double negatives.
Okay. Well, so this is what I'm saying. I think because I can make a standing leap, if I only leap 8 feet, it counts as my
8
movement.
feet. Right,
Got it.
Right.
Okay, so I can walk 35 feet, and I'm going to leap an additional 6 feet to try to kind of hide behind this. Just position myself behind this rock-ish, sort of.
This one to the north?
Yes.
All right, do it.
So that's going to get me like... I don't know. It's like here-ish.
Remember when I said the one to the north, and then she dragged the measurement tool to the south? Yeah.
I thought you were doing the thing. Yeah, I meant like over here-ish.
All right, do it.
But
you should have control of your.
I do, but okay. Thank you.
I think you can double move pretty easily behind that rock, honestly.
Yeah, because I mean, what's your movement? Like 40, probably.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so I'm going to after and then as I land, as I get to my spot, I turn and bow a little in your direction because I'm sure you're all impressed by my leaping skills.
A nice little flourish after the leap.
Yeah. Stuck the landing.
All right.
You jump, good sailor lady.
Seer, you're up.
Sidebar. Will I ever put the speed on my character sheet?
You'll be 30.
Yeah, I think.
No, I just looked it up, but it's like literally never ever.
Never on the sheet.
Never. Sorry, go ahead.
So I would like to obscure the party obscure our party from the others. I'd like to use fog cloud
Ooh.
to allow for our party to get a little bit more prepared, maybe get in a little better position or whatnot. It's got 120-foot range, so I'd like to put it a little bit further in front of us, maybe like say here.
Okay.
So we might be able to drag this gentleman off, or at least set up something prior to the party coming towards us.
How big is the cloud?
The cloud is a 20-foot radius of fog.
20-foot radius. Okay, let's see if we can do that real fast. It's weird. My
I don't know
shape.
how wide is the road.
The road. So each one of these squares is 5 feet.
20, 25, 30, 35-ish.
So then
30-ish. Yeah,
so then
35.
I guess
Can you
I
do a
would
20-foot
cast it
radius,
kind of
Dip?
like right here to be able to obscure all of us.
Oh, from where though?
Well,
Like from him?
I'm gonna guess it's about. Hold on one second. I'm like trying to make it real fast for us. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
It's heavily obscured.
I think it's like this. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you move it over towards the middle of the road, though?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I should be able to.
If you have to go to the.
I mean, I can imagine it. It's
I think I have to. No, I think I have to like zoom in.
I mean,
bit.
this is Dungeons
There
and
we go.
Dragons, right? I mean,
Yeah, how'd you guys manage
Something like
that
this?
in your head?
yes, perfect. That's perfect.
All right, so you drop this fog cloud in front of you guys, and thick, rolling rolls of cloud.
thick cloud.
Of thick clouds roll into the road, obscuring you and the party from these interlopers. All right, good job. All right, Fury, you're up.
Well, I'm pretty far away from them, and Fury isn't exactly a guy to opt for the ranged option for. So he will currently wait until the riders get closer, in excited anticipation, standing here with Zax.
Oh, hold on. It seems like you cut out.
So I will be standing there, axe in hand, waiting, letting my turn pass for now.
Okay. Do you have something that you're waiting for specifically?
I'm waiting for them to get close enough for me to start running towards them so I can attack them. Because right now I cannot even run to them.
Okay.
So far away.
All right. Rhea, you're up.
Okay. Can they? I'm sorry. We're 90 feet away from them.
About 100. Yeah. It depends which
Okay.
character you are, but
Okay. So they can hear me if I yell out at them, right?
yeah.
Okay. My spatial awareness.
Well, you were able to hear them, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good point. So I call to them and I say, gentlemen, hold your fire. Do they
Alright, so-
respond?
They seem to be, still running towards you.
We mean you no harm. Do I hear them running towards us still?
Yeah, they're still on their horses, just kind of plowing towards you guys.
Okay. I ask, what did this man do?
Yeah, they're like, moving.
They don't care.
Is there anything
Fine.
you want to do during this turn, though?
Well, I want to. If they're not close enough yet. I wanted to do charm person, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm too far away. I can move.
30 and do something, or 60 and not do something.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to move because they're coming towards us. So by the time, it shouldn't be long before they get here. And I like having a fog cloud. So I'm going to stay.
Okay, so you're going to stay in that, the same spot?
Yeah, because they're not close enough for me to do charm person. And then sacred flame is going to be hard because I can't see them through the fog. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, so they are pushing forward, and they begin charging towards you guys, and they're on horseback. So they're moving. You get as they get closer, you see that one has is like they're both dressed similarly. One has a smaller frame than the other one, and they ride into this bank of clouds. And when they do, you no longer see them.
Now is when I use my swift action to set the fog on fire.
Can I do that? Is that a thing?
All right, Nicandros, you're up.
Cool. Now the enemies are obscured and I can't do anything. This is excellent teamwork. Okay. I'm gonna unlimber my spear and my shield, and I say, "Villains, villains!" And I'm gonna leap over this guy. 10. I'm just gonna run into the cloud. So what can I see or what can I not see?
Good question. Let's look this guy up. Which suppose this was fog?
Fog cloud.
This cloud of fog spell. What was it? This one that made a fog cloud. What was it called?
Cloudy fog.
Okay, it
Fog
says
cloud, I found
area
it.
is heavily obscured.
Means nothing. Thank you, D&D.
Good job. Well, if we look in the back of the book, everyone knows that heavily obscured means
C, vision conditions.
See, fog cloud. What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a Triton skill.
a heavily obscured area such as darkness, opaque fog, or dense foliage blocks vision entirely. Creatures effectively suffer from the blinded condition when trying to see something in the area. So, see blinded. Blinded condition.
Great.
All right, blinded. You can't see.
Okay, but so
I didn't tell you to run into it.
Automatically fails any ability to check that requires sight. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage.
okay, so it's just a disadvantage then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm running and I'm listening for the sound of beating hooves because I imagine it's very loud.
Yes, you can hear you can definitely hear the horses still.
And I am going to, swing my spear around.
You see flashes of
shield
their equine bodies as they are moving through the fog, and you're pretty sure you can get like a somewhat okay swing on one of these guys.
Okay, there's a loud roar from the frog. Not the frog. I'm a frog man. So,
It's his
I
supernatural gift from lion to frog.
pull my lion mask off and frog man.
You didn't even know.
Okay, here we go. Damn it, this disadvantage. Okay,
Maybe don't run into a cloud of fog.
maybe don't waste all of our turns. Okay, does a 10 hit?
A 10 does not hit. So you swing wildly with your spear? Spear?
Yeah.
You swing wildly with your spear. You can feel the heat of those equine muscles as they run through you. By you, not through you. But run by you.
Now I'm a horse.
It's
As
got
they-
interesting fast.
As they run by you, the fog sort of like briefly parting with a gust of cool air as they whip past, and you try to reach out with your spear to stab, but it just pierces the fog, but not in a way that would make it easier for you to see, just to make you not hit. Okay.
I would like to act.
All right, Fury, what are you going to do?
Can
All
I?
right.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Can I, give anybody bardic inspiration or only on my turn?
Only on your turn.
Got it. Okay. Thank
Unless it's a reaction. Is it a
you.
reaction?
No, it's not. I just wasn't sure, and I meant to ask you before, and I didn't remember.
All right, Fury, what are you doing?
I hold out my axe as I go charging into the fog, as I yell out, I will send you back to the underworld in
Oh,
pieces as
dramatic.
I activate my rage, going in and trying to, much like Nicandros, try and hear for hoof steps.
So dramatic, everyone.
Right?
As
I turn to the
also,
others and I say,
whilst
"Do you
I'm
know this
raging.
from the underworld?"
Whilst I'm raging, my eyes also turn from blue to a glowing, like fiery red.
That's horrifying.
I do appreciate
I
that you're using the
am
word
uncomfortable
whilst.
now.
Whilst Ray is like, is this horse from the underworld?
Is anyone here not from the underworld?
All right, Fury. So you make it your way, and you make your way into the cloud, and once again you can feel the chaos of horses trampling through the area, and you think you have a bead on one of them.
I will go up towards it and slash my axe at it, intent on taking it down.
All right, roll it.
I guess I'll roll first.
Wait,
and then I'll
but
ask.
why?
So you have disadvantage because you're blind.
Yeah. Now, actually, that was actually all right. It's the lower of the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have made Rhea very uncomfortable.
19 to hit.
That's the lower. Wow.
I rolled a 12.
Time to go to Vegas. All right,
And as for
you do hit. You do hit.
And as for damage, I've got 12.
Nice job. All right, just describe what you did.
I slash upward in a not even righteous, just a fury out to kill these people who dare charge at us. As I slash up at him, trying to knock him down out of his horse or kill him or whatever. As I scream out, "Rah!"
And what is your weapon? It's a battle axe?
Yeah, a great axe. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so your battle axe, you swing it through this fog, hoping that you're going to hit something, and you do. It connects solidly with meat of some sort. You hope it's not a horse, but the scream of a man after your strike lets you know that it was not, and it was, in fact, hitting its target as you intended. There's a spray of blood that colors the fog in a fine red mist as Fury's axe cuts into this returned soldier. Calliope, you're up.
Okay, well, I'm going to leap back into the vicinity of the party. And that's gonna take me to right like there-ish. Yeah. All right, I'm back, and I yell out in my loudest voice, "Leonin, you got this, kid!" And I give him bardic inspiration for his next roll.
Yay!
So you feel inspired by the voice of this young satyr as she cheers you on in combat. You feel as though you could accomplish tasks that you never thought you could before. And you're ready to engage with these enemies in a way that you believe will truly be inspiring to all those around you.
I feel inspired.
But also, that's all I'm gonna do at this time.
All right, Seer, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to walk around, I guess run around to where I can still do an action, but like over here, I think. May take my guy. I have to switch. I'd like to move over here.
Yes, the only reason Chris does not have custom art is because Chris told me about his character today, so that's why he gets the fish.
You did draw that.
Oh, to be fair though, yeah, Mandy is right. This is custom art, actually. This is it is a custom fish.
So right here.
But I promise I'll fix it for you before next time, Chris. You'll have
right there. Right there. And I'd like to see if this will work. I'd like to cast Disguise Self and change my appearance into one of the returned.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't see why not.
It'd be more useful if if they could see you, but otherwise.
They're going to be out of the. They were riding on horseback. This is all happening in second by second increments. They're going to be out of the fog in a minute.
So Seer, you do like a wipe, and you turn from your normal, Guillermo del Toro fishman into more of a Guillermo del Toro undead man, like that guy from that one with the hands of the eyes,
Oh.
No, not quite. But yeah, like a returned, right?
You're talking about Pan's Labyrinth?
That's
that
right.
Was an interesting Pan's Labyrinth reference.
But this cloud of fog, or maybe cloud fog cloud, cloud of fog, fog cloud.
Cloud of fog.
It obscures this transformation from everyone except Rhea. Rhea, so you were able to see this transformation as Seer converts from a
I'm
fish
horrified.
to a dead man.
Yeah, it goes from one horror to another.
Why did you do this?
Okay, Fury, you're up.
I should not be up.
Oh, that's right,
my
you held your
went
turn.
down.
Sorry,
I'm
sorry.
After Nicandros.
Let me
now.
put you down there, Fury.
Like,
Sorry
I
about
wanna
that.
do stuff.
Rhea, you're up. You're up, Rhea.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to get them to halt before they break my heart. So I want to cast. Okay, so thaumaturgy. I can do light show thing. Can I do something like a spark, like not a huge firework, but something like up above the fog? That would.
No, they
Take
can't
care.
see anything, so.
Yeah, they're within the fog. So they're
Okay.
it's above them too, right?
Okay, then I want to. Okay, then I want to make a sound like the sound of a firework. I'm trying to get the horses to stop.
Oh, okay.
Trying to push pause on this whole thing because we're just willy nilly, like sushiing, chopping people. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, so what are you gonna do specifically?
Did these guys go?
Say it again.
Did these guys go?
Well, they ran in right on their horses.
Yeah.
Well, I want to clap my hands, but then make it sound like a firework or as big as possible.
Okay. Then let's what should we roll for that?
Intimidate some horses.
Oh yes, that's good.
Firework.
That is good. Okay, let's roll an intimidate, but
Okay.
I'm gonna give you your whatever your oh, that probably is the same, right? Because you're a warlock, right? I was gonna say I'm gonna give you your spell casting bonus instead of your, intimidate. Let's do this then. Let's do intimidate with advantage, but it'll be a contested one.
Okay. Okay, so that was a number 17 plus, so 19.
19.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Rhea, explain what you do.
So I'm gonna sneakily go behind the horse so that no one sees, and I'm going to put my hands above it and clap like this.
Do a whole clap.
Yeah, like
And-
Dumbledore clap. Like,
And what do we hear? What do we hear when you do this?
like a loud sonic boom firework kind of noise.
Okay. So everyone hears, what appears to be sort of like a loud, like, something in between sort of like a thunder and kind of like an explosion
Or they
sound.
didn't have fireworks in ancient Greece. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not positive. And from inside the cloud, you hear, "Mrrr!" And then you hear the thump of some, what you may assume to be bodies as they hit the ground. And a few moments later, from the back of the fog cloud to the southwest, you see two horses running off.
Oh.
Perfect.
Hey.
Nice.
All right, it is my turn. So these are returning to their previous actions. So they're stuck in the fog. They're running through. They have a singular goal. So they begin running out towards the fog, towards the dead body. As they do, Fury and Nicandros, you can make attacks of opportunity.
At a disadvantage.
Yeah, at disadvantage, right?
Karate!
Wait, did these guys go before Nicandros last
I'm-
time?
Yeah, but they just ran in.
Oh.
No, I missed.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I rolled pretty bad. I rolled a 3, and I know I'm not going to hit. However, I have the supernatural gift. My fate is my own, which is basically just a renamed lucky change for that feat. And it allows me to normally allow me to re-roll certain rolls, including attack rolls.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what happens if I have disadvantage and I try that. Does that mean I have to roll both rolls again? Do I have to roll one?
Good question.
I would say roll again with disadvantage, no?
Yeah, I feel like if you get the same throw, you get the same throw.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Okay, so this is a 3 and a 20. And then the next one's going to be, 11 and a 10 for the other one. I will probably choose the 10, I guess, since that's the lower of the second rolls.
What's the total?
And that gives me a 16 to hit.
You do hit.
Hey, let's scratch 1 point, 1 fate point, lucky point off, and I deal 15 damage.
Jesus.
Okay, so
Barbarian.
as this returned is running by Fury, trying to get out of this fog cloud. Fury swings with his great axe and splits his body in twain, and he falls to the ground in a puddle of black ichor.
Oh,
Yuck.
That's gross.
I yell out in excitement, yes! More!
Okay.
Ooh.
But this guy, he ran through the fog to the body. He sees Calliope here as the closest person to the body that he can see,
I like it.
and he wants to keep you away. So he swings at you with his spear. So, well, I guess he doesn't swing. He stabs at you with his spear and says, "Stay back! Stay back!" Does a 15 hit?
It does not.
Oh. So the spear, he swings at you, or he thrusts at you, and it glances off your leather armor, and you're able to avoid his strike.
Excellent.
Nicandros, you're up.
All right, so I hear this swinging and fighting, and I knew he ran past me, so I'm going to follow him out of the fog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when I can see, I'm going to, tuck my shield Spartan style and like try to do like a jump and like spear him in the back as he's fighting Calliope.
Let's do it.
Ah. Okay, not bad. Okay. So first is a 23.
To hit?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, that'll be a certain amount of damage. That's 5 damage from that.
Okay.
But then I'm gonna with my Polar Master, my my God-given supernatural gifts for spear combat. I swing it around and after I lightly graze him and then I come back and I try to smash him with the back of the spear.
Oh, okay.
And that'll do 20, or that's 23 to hit.
Yes, you do.
And that'll actually do 7 damage.
Oh, nice job. All right. So you see Nicandros roll in with a 1-2 punch. He emulates the sentry with his own spear stabbing motion, and impales him in the back. And then when he pulls the spear out, he flips around and hits it with the back of the spear. And this returned is definitely quite damaged, but still up. Okay, Fury, you're up.
I'm in this fog cloud. Can I hear what's going on?
Yes, and you do know that one ran by you, right? The one that you were that you struck down.
That I didn't strike down or did?
Well, you knew that the one that you did strike down was running in that direction.
All right, I try and run back out where I came from out of the fog.
Okay. When you emerge from the fog, you see the scene from before, right? The dead returned. You see a horse on the ground. You see Rhea behind the horse. You see Nicandros, to your right, and to the right of Nicandros, you see a returned who is wielding a spear and seem to have just attacked Calliope. And then to your left, you see a new returned who seem to emerge from the bushes completely unharmed.
Hey guys.
Oh right. Yeah. I turn toward the new risen, and I'm like, yes, more for the slaughter as I start running towards him.
Give him the sign.
It's me! It's me!
Hey, he's saying, kiss me. Kiss me.
You're
I'm gonna go ahead and dispel.
gonna what?
Dispel.
He's like,
On your Fury, on your charge toward this returned, he seems to
Gas fingers.
he's trying
Spirit
to
fingers.
he's trying to deceive you. He is now shape changed into the fish man that you saw from before.
My axe was about to come down, but until I stop. I'm like, what is this?
what sorcery is this?
Okay, so Fury, you ran, realized it was your friend at the last moment, or perhaps you're not sure, but you've decided to halt your attack, or no?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for your character, if that's,
He does look very greatly annoyed that he's lost it, and that ends my rage because I didn't attack it. Actually, I have to attack someone by the end of the turn. Did the attack opportunity count?
By the end of the what? Does
For rages, they end if you don't attack or get attacked by
For-
the end of your turn.
Well, you did attack in your...
In the attack
Wow.
opportunity, so
In
I
your
guess
attack
it's
of
still
opportunity.
going. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, then in that case, I can still keep running. So
Okay.
I turn course and I start running back around. I won't be able to attack the guy.
Okay, so Fury does the 360 as he realizes he made a mistake, leaps over the horse, and
And then
heads
I
over
get there.
to the returned. All right,
Quick enough to
Cool.
attack.
Calliope, you're up. You were just attempted stab, the victim of an attempted stabbing.
It was a run-by stabbing. That was rude. Okay. Quick technical question.
Uh-huh.
Can I have a misunderstanding of this spell. Earth Tremor, it has a range of 10 feet, so I can cause a tremor anywhere within 10 feet of myself.
Yeah, so the point of origin will be 10 feet from you.
And, well, it has to be 10 feet or it's within 10 feet.
Yeah, you can do 5 feet.
And so my question is, and then who does it affect? What is the area of effect?
Well, what does the range say?
It says anyone in that area.
Okay, hold on, let's look. Earth Tremor.
I mean, that means it probably is 10 feet.
You cause a tremor on the ground within range. Yeah, so it looks like you are the center is my guess, because there is no, it says range area 10 feet. So I'm going to guess it's like a 10-foot circle around you.
Well, I was trying to be nice and not knock down my friends, but...
Hey, man, do what you gotta do.
Okay, so in this, just centered right where he is, I am going to cast Earth Tremor. He needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Well, no. It's not going to be centered on him, right? It's going to be centered on you.
Well...
Hold on, what's the target? You cause a tremor in the ground within range. Each creature other than you in that area must make a... Yeah, I think it's...
I don't think that means it's centered on her, does it?
No, I think... No, because I have another spell that is centered on me. And the
Yeah,
range
but
is-
here's the question I have. If it's not centered on you, where is it centered? Within 10 feet?
Yeah, good question.
And then how big
What
is
if
it?
What if I pull out my rapier and I stab him?
It's up to you.
Can I do that? I'm going to do that. Because that I know how to do.
Stabby, stabby.
Maybe.
Stabby, stabby.
We're going to find out.
I don't see.
I mean, usually if it is like that, there's two numbers listed.
But there isn't this time. It just says
And
10
then-
feet.
Yeah, so that tells me it's just around you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you for the coaching. But I do try, I pull out my rapier and I try to stab him with it.
Okay.
Because he tried to stab me. And does a 23 hit?
A 23 does hit. Wow, you guys are rolling hot tonight.
I feel that way too.
Okay.
Sorry, babe.
The only way we roll.
The damage is 7.
All right, so you stab him with your rapier. It pierces the flesh of his torso, and some of that thick black Icarus blood sort of like oozes out from your stab wound as he howls out in pain. But you can't see it because his face is blank in this golden mask.
Metal. That's what I say.
All right, Seer, you're up.
So
Is he still alive?
He is still alive.
Oh, he's a tough cookie.
I'm going to fire a crossbow at him then.
Okay, well, you got this fog cloud in your way, but it's your fog cloud, so you can drop it as a concentration at any time.
Let's drop it.
All right, let's kill it. So with a as quickly as it arrived, the cloud of fog disappears, and you see inside now a returned sentry. The smaller statured one is like split in half, black oozing Icarus blood pouring from the top half of the torso, pouring out of the bottom half of the torso. You think that maybe even the top half was alive for a moment. It crawled away from the bottom half. But you think that's just like, your horrific visions of this returned.
I needed some more nightmare fuel, so
These guys are gross.
I was just pretending to be one, so
Do you have a better understanding of them now?
I think I do.
To know how.
I'd like to interview one. I'd like to write their story. I'd like to paint their life. So I'm gonna fire that crossbow, right?
All right, let's do it. So Seer pulls out his crossbow and attempts to shoot a bolt at this remaining returned.
And I roll a
Can I?
18.
Should we keep one alive to figure out
18?
what's going on?
Maybe too late for that.
Seer, did you say 18?
18.
Yeah, you got it. You gonna roll damage?
I am 4.
4. So your crossbow bolt. Oops. Sorry, I'm doing my math wrong. Really? 4?
Isn't it a 1d6?
But then
That's
you're
your
gonna
dex.
you get to add your dex bonus.
Oh, I didn't do that part.
No.
Well, there you go. So then 8.
Okay. So your crossbow bolt, the fog cloud drops, and then your bolt flies through the air over the dead body of the previous returned and into the head of the remaining returned. And as it does, it crumples to the ground, a bloody ragdoll, dead again.
Excellent. Everyone's dead. Now we can find out what's going on.
I call it to Seer. What do you know about all this? Well,
So here we are.
Well, these weren't friendly chaps.
As I
I
come
guess
down
we'll never
from
know.
As I come down from my rage, my fiery red eyes start turning blue as I start huff and like start calming down, and I'm like
Huffing?
yes, huffing, like kind of
Spray
Paint.
spray
Paint,
paint in
yeah.
a bag, and then you breathe it.
and I'm just like, oh, that was exciting. And then I turn to the what are they called? Triton, right?
Yes, it's a Triton. I'm a Triton.
I turn to you and I'm like, well, I like the trick with the fog. I didn't like you pretending to be one of them. You almost wasted my precious killing time.
Yeah. I'm so sorry I wasn't allowing you to continue your murderous rage. Next time I'll be more cognizant of that.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
Yes, no problem.
I say, yes, all of your sorcerer's powers came in quite handy. All of you. We make an excellent team. Now, why did they kill this poor bastard?
We'll
So you
never
can
know.
you can see the sun is going down, but the lights of the polis are starting to kind of light up in the distance, and so here you are. It's silent where you are. No silent secrets. No, I'm just kidding. It's pretty oddly silent though. Not oddly. It's that time of night, right, where the birds and the animals have already kind of gone to sleep, and the night animals haven't come out yet. Rhea, you can hear the panting of the horse. It still seems to be alive. It seemed to be receptive of your water distribution technique that you used earlier. You believe that if given a little bit of attention, some food and water, that you could nurse this horse could be okay. It seems to be mostly exhaustion and minor injuries.
Yay, I got a horse. Okay. I will attempt to nurse it back to health. I will give it an apple.
Do you have an apple?
I don't know.
She's like, let me check my bag.
I would. She's all. I make an illusionary apple.
I come over to where Rhea is and I say, "Young miss, perchance I could channel the might of our Lord Helion into this horse. Would you allow me to give it succor?"
Absolutely.
Give it what?
Good use of the word sucker.
Hey now. I lean down and I touch my shield, which has the sort of star sign or the sun sign of Helion, and then I give it 1 point of hit points as I lay on hands. I lay my big lion paw on his flank.
You're getting vibes of that story about the mice and the mouse and the lion's paw, right? You know, pulls the thorn out.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You know the story about the lion that healed the horse.
It's a classic.
Aesop fable, man.
As you feel the light of Heliod kind of pour through you, through your paw, into this horse, right? You feel as though doing this act in the name of your patron god has brought you a little bit closer to Heliod, at least to understanding his desires. The horse seems to also appreciate a little bit of this healing magic. Its minor injuries are sort of like, kind of stitched themselves together, and you can see that its breathing is less labored, and it gets up on all fours.
Yay.
It still looks ragged. It needs some rest, but you're pretty sure a good night's rest and a bale of hay and Fotis. What was his name? Fotinia. Fotina.
Fontina. Cheese.
Fontina, the cheese.
It was
It's Fontina now.
It's Fotina.
What is this horse's name?
Fotina.
Fotina.
Can you name it Fontina, please?
Well, it's your horse now, so you can name it whatever you like.
Fontina it is.
So
Blue boy
Fontina.
it is.
Okay, so here we are.
Okay. I have trail rations. I don't know if that includes something a horse would eat, like a Nutri-Grain bar. I would give that.
In ancient Greece, Nutri-Grain bar.
They had granola. They had wheat.
It's a crude form of pemmican. I'm sure the horse would eat it.
Okay.
This is fat.
I'm sure the horse would eat.
It's like fat and oats, so yeah, it's horse food, right?
Fat and oats.
How about it'll eat whatever the hell we give it? How about that? I'm a horse.
Who's not doing so well, however, are the returned corpses who you've sent back to the ferryman. I'm sure he's much pleased to be returning their corpses back to the underworld, or their spirits back to the underworld. But here they lie in piles of bloody black goo. All three of them.
I throw 6 copper pieces and say, "Keep the change, you filthy
Nice.
animals."
Do we hear? I mean, does it sound like peace at this point? Is there anything
Do you have any more horses
around where we are?
coming?
No, you don't hear any horses.
And this horse, our cart, has waited patiently for us to.
Yeah. So when you look at the cart, you can see there's like a half dozen of the travelers that were with you that were like not up to a fight, who are like kind of peeking from behind the cart now.
So I turn around and I say,
Guys are pansies!
"It's all in fun, friends. We'll be ready to go in just a minute."
Thanks for the help. You got guard duty.
I want to search the returned corpses. I don't really want to, but I'd like any sort of answer.
Sure.
So this doesn't haunt my dreams.
Everything will haunt your dreams.
Alright.
Everything.
Let's do it. All right, so Rhea heads over to the corpses and kind of digs through the muck, and You realize they don't carry much beyond those gold funerary masks that they wear, and
I'm
the
gonna take
and
one of those.
and the equipment that they had, of course, which was those spears, and one had a sling and one had a short bow. You were also able to find a pouch containing 20 silver pieces,
Thank you.
but you also were able to find a broken piece of pottery, which is kind of weird.
What kind of pottery?
Well, if you'd like to roll an Arcana or a Religion, I'll let you know.
I would like to do that if that's possible.
I will take one of these masks and put it on. It says it's
Incredibly.
festival ready.
So everyone, just so you know, only everyone knows that only a fool would have anything to do with a funerary mask, even a gold one. They're very difficult to sell because they're essentially considered like grave robbing and like
Sure.
very like so
Does weird
But
stuff
not
happen
if they're
if you
melted down.
if you
There
put
we
it on your
go.
face?
Hey.
That's how you make it.
It
So
sounds like one of those things
I rolled a
might not know.
22 Arcana.
I'm sorry, what was that, Calliope?
I rolled a 22 Arcana.
Oh, you rolled a 22 Arcana. Anyone else rolling any Religion or Arcana for this piece of pottery?
I'll do religion.
With 19 on religion.
Hi guys.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
He's like, oh, I skipped that week.
Okay, so Calliope and Seer, you recognize this piece of pottery as a shard of what is known as an ostraka, which is a clay funerary mask. And these shards of these funerary masks are used as currency in the underworld.
Like at like the underworld disco.
More like the underworld where dead people go.
Like it's how they get out.
No, not necessarily, but like it's how they like pay for goods. When
Like
they're
how they
dead.
get cigarettes at the commissary.
So I like
Yes.
kind of like bound towards Rhea and say, I've seen this. I know what this is. This is like dead people money. It's kind of
Oh,
probably won't get you very far here.
It's dead people money.
That
Like
sounds real nice,
Quite
Satyr.
pretty.
You can't just say that like that's a normal thing.
Well, if you drilled a hole in it and put it around your neck, you could, with this outfit, it's pretty.
We need money in the afterlife.
Well,
I won't need money in the afterlife. I can't die,
okay.
but I need it.
I think, well, I can't prove you wrong so far.
Exactly. I haven't died yet, thus
You have
I can't
methods.
die.
With which you could prove him wrong. But
Well, I look at him and I'm like, we're all still here though. So by that,
Well, yes, but I know that I cannot die. You understand?
oh,
okay.
Okay.
You fought well, though. I approve, young satyr.
thanks.
So if can I roll a history to know if returns are they automatically evil, or are they just freaky looking and sometimes they have a different purpose?
Wait, say that again. I don't understand your question, Brad.
So my question is, what is the morality or alignment of returns? Like, are they automatically evil because they're like a zombie, or
I see.
are they sometimes like sent for a purpose? And
Yeah, roll you can roll a history or a religion.
I would prefer history.
Do you vocalize this question, or are you just?
Let me see. Depending on what I know, 17.
You know that returned are void of emotions usually. Sometimes that can look like evil, right? Because they have like no empathy whatsoever. But for the most part, they just kind of go through the motions. There's entire cities that are run with just the returned, and they operate just like a city, but like a really bland, boring city where the baker never smiles and like the cobbler never tells you to have a good
more
day.
nightmares. You can stop now.
So this isn't anything like a Disney movie.
Rhea, as you're handling that Osraka, what you notice is on the back of it is a message that has been carved into the clay.
Oh, do I know this message?
It says, "Silence the heretic Various. His secrets must remain dead."
Oh, I tell the group, guys, I found a thing. It says stuff about this guy. I won the escape room challenge.
Well, I'm afraid they may have been successful in their mission.
Indeed.
I'd say so. Pretty dead.
I'm gonna pick up the dead man. Well, I'm gonna pull all the arrows out.
I'm gonna pick up the dead man.
And I'm gonna. Sorry, I forgot. Did the cart stay?
The cart stayed. They they all hid behind it and were just sort of cowering and scared. But that's like pretty normal when monstrous people kind of charge upon you, right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick him up once I've gotten the arrows out, and I'm gonna walk over to the cart, and I'm gonna say, "Fear not, we have defeated those villains, but I'm afraid this fellow didn't make it. I'd like to bring him to town with us. Can we make room for his corpse in your cart?"
People are like, they kind of look apprehensive, but you think that your demeanor, friendly as it is, coupled with your large size, would allow you to do what you'd like in this situation.
Yeah, he'll fit in right here. Don't worry. And I shove bags to the side and I kind of put this corpse in there.
Fine work, Nicandros.
So as you who has the mask? Did you leave it with the guy or?
I have it.
Okay.
I took one.
Well, who has the mask from the guy that was originally dead?
I think I gave that.
I was reading.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have it, Seer?
I was reading it.
Okay. So as you guys
yes.
are searching some bodies, mending to horses, putting corpses in the cart, etc., etc.
Like you do.
Like you do. An average, Wednesday night. For a moment, all sounds turn to a whisper. Color drains from the world. Everything seems to be in shades of gray. Except, Seer, in your hands, that mask is like a blinding, gleaming gold that sears into your eyes, right? It's like it's breaking those shades of gray. And everyone else, as you're looking around, trying to pick up sounds that have now turned into these just muted whispers and trying to see what is going on, you can all see this mask gleaming in Seer's hands with with the brightness of the sun. And as quickly as it came, a few seconds later, things return to normal. The sounds rise up to an audible volume. The color returns fades back into saturation, and the mask kind of dulls down to its regular gold color.
Is anything different about the mask? Like, is it scorched or is there something written on it now?
You want to head over there and check?
Sure. Or I can ask whoever. So I don't know. Was someone holding it? Seer was holding it?
Seer was holding it.
Okay, I just asked him. I don't need to rip it from his hand.
So I need to roll something to look at it as well too. Then
it honestly, Seer, it appears to be exactly the same as it was before.
Okay.
Anyone who wants to can roll a knowledge religion.
Yeah, I'm a little shaken by that. That's very odd.
What a weird experience, I say.
21.
I hope it doesn't happen again.
Anybody else rolling? Just Seer.
I did, but
I have history, but
I got a 13.
21.
I am not smart.
Okay, if you if you rolled over a 12,
Hey.
You recognize this as a sign. Oftentimes in the land of Theros, the gods speak to mortals through sometimes very direct means and sometimes more indirect means. And this appears to be, you would interpret this as a sign from Phenax, who is the god that escaped the underworld.
Cool.
This, this vision that you had, you could almost call it an omen, right? Some sort of sign from the god. And the meaning, you're not sure about. You're not sure about it yet.
Okay.
It appears the gods speak to us this day.
One of the people near the cart
So much
heard you
to
said that and
celebrate.
said, "What do you speak of, Lion Man?"
I slowly put the mask in a bag just so the others aren't scared of it. And everybody, the group that I'm talking to, our group, can see that, but I don't want the cart people to see it.
The
I don't know
rabble.
what to call them else.
Cart people.
The people around the cart.
People of the cart.
You villagers of the cart. You villagers of Locker C18. I say, call me Nicandros. Did you not see color fade from the world? I do believe it was an omen from perhaps Phenax.
You
Which
see,
makes sense, given all these creepy undead people.
you see the people of the cart speak in hushed tones to each other, and then the one who asked you in the beginning says, "No, Nicandros, we did not see any of this. Clearly, you have been marked by the god Phenax."
I am spoken for by Helion.
The
But I
gods.
suppose I'm open to other conversation.
Our relationship is complicated.
I come back and I report that to, I say, okay, so everyone else, did you feel suddenly as if you were peering into a much duller world?
Yes, it was a very boring looking world. I saw that too.
Huh.
Yes, boring.
Strange business. I do believe it may have been the god Phenax. Do any of you
I don't
agree?
know how to interpret that message.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll agree with you though.
Yeah, no, I agree with.
Do we know anything
I agree
about
with you.
Phenax beyond?
Why don't you roll a
History.
probably religion, but you know what? I'll give you a history too. You can roll a history or a religion.
Thanks. Okay.
Ooh, there we go. 22.
I'm gonna start now. Okay.
My roll
17.
is not great, but I do have the researcher feature.
I'll be right.
Okay, so I'm sorry. What rolls did we get?
22 for me, religion.
22.
Nicandros.
Anybody else got something they think is
17 history.
17?
8, but I'm trying really hard to remember what I read about this in the library.
Okay. So Nicandros and Rhea. Sorry, Seer, did you roll or?
I didn't because I just rolled a religion. I didn't know if that would be something that would.
Also, just out of curiosity, does anybody follow Phenax? I don't believe anybody does.
Do not.
Okay. So Phenax, Rhea and Nicandros, you know that Phenax is the god of deception. He was known for basically, going to the underworld and like actually escaping from it. And the returned are those who are said to follow the path of Phenax, right? They've crossed back the rivers and back into Theros. So obviously he is very contentious. Has a very contentious relationship with the god of the underworld, who's like not happy that people are like finding their way out of the underworld through him. He's kind of a shadowy and mysterious figure in terms of just like his relationship with the rest of the Pantheon. He's kind of the perennial outsider. He pretty much exists just to kind of disrupt plans. He takes pleasure in finding ways to subvert and corrupt champions. What else? What else do you know about him? You know that he doesn't have his own memory. So, like his returned, Phenax does not remember what his life was like before he emerged from the underworld. And it is said that many of his secrets are kind of spread out throughout the world, and he's always like looking for them. He's always like trying to find ways to rebuild his memory.
Wow.
Interesting. Well, that's quite an ill omen from a less than trustworthy figure.
Perhaps it was something leaving the mask instead of the mask being imbued with something. I hope it's that,
I feel it was a pointed message.
since we've disposed of all of the followers.
Well, hope it was a message for one of you. Because although I saw it, I do not want it.
I fear once the gods step in your path, they are not quick to tread from it.
Well, they should stay in their lane.
This is true.
Well, trust me on this one.
The gods won't leave well enough alone.
If you are all willing, I think it may be wise for us to seek perhaps an oracle or a priest of Phenax, if such a foul character should exist.
I was going to ask is there a priest that's not returned? Does that happen?
You mean priest of Phenax?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Temples.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, many people who seek secrets, oftentimes there are oracles that follow him. So yes, definitely.
Okay, yeah. We can ask for their help as long as they don't look like these.
Most returned are like within their own cities.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, you don't see returned a lot outside of, things like this or going to those cities themselves, which most people are not like really welcome or comfortable in anyway.
Okay, well, maybe we can't find a priest of Phenax here, but some kind of oracle or priest may give us more knowledge. And if this is truly a divine burden, then I am worried that we all must bear it if we're the only ones who saw it.
I think you're right.
Sounds like it could be potentially dangerous. I'm in.
Most divine omens are.
I like slap Fury's back, and I say, "It looks like we're in for another adventure, friend."
I'll happily take it. More chances at battle. Take them.
Well, tell me your friends, or tell me your name, new friends. I'm Nicandros. I address Calliope, Seer, and the departed Rhea.
You're so tall.
True. Among my people, I am only slightly above average.
Well, among my people, I'm slightly below average. So we make quite a pair. I'm Calliope.
Indeed. A pleasure to meet you. I give you a big paw, big fluffy golden paw,
It's so soft.
and warm.
I go up to you as well. I'm like, it's nice to meet you. I am Fury, and I hold my hand out like I'm gonna shake as well.
All right. Well, I look up into your. What color are they right now?
Blue. They were red, but now blue.
Into your blue eyes, and I offer my. My hand is much smaller than yours. Let's be clear about that.
I take your hand, and then I just pull you into a hug.
Nice.
Like a bear hug.
I like it. I'm in. All right.
And I set her back
I
down.
hug him back.
I said, "What about you, bold Triton?" He's dead. Chris
Seer,
is dead.
you still there?
He's gone.
You fall asleep? What's going on? Oh, we lost him.
We did lose him.
We lost him. Real
What
professional.
about you?
We got a real
young Nick?
professional show going on over here.
I mean, what happened? We lost Chris?
I think
We
he
lost
just
Chris.
lost his,
I'm gonna make you the host, Bill.
Of what? No, don't make me the host.
Oh.
No. It's done. It's all about to explode.
No.
You can give it back to me.
What'd you make me the host of?
This Zoom call.
Oh, I don't want to move me, so.
I was like,
let me-
you're the host of this show.
It
True.
still says you're
And also this
what
did.
you are.
Yeah, no. I think I would be too, because I think I'm in the same spot in Zoom every time.
You're
Well,
Bill
we'll give
Johnson.
Chris
You're
like
Bill
a couple
Johnson.
minutes before I fix all these panels.
Yeah,
Although-
well, you know what? This actually might be a good idea to take a little pee break or something, like a 5-minute.
Let's do it. 5
Yeah.
minutes. Everybody
Be
go
right back.
take a pee break.
Okay. We'll be right back, people. 5 minutes.
BRB, 5 minutes.
BRB.
Should I turn off? I'm going to turn off sound for a second.
Audience, you should pee too, if you need to.
Hello.
Y'all want to listen to me eat a rice cake?
Oh, is it ASMR time?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Can you check the stream volume? I kind of messed with it just now. I want to make sure it's still going okay.
Oh, sure. Give me a moment.
Oh, are you waiting for me to talk?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm here now.
Okay, so here I am, sound checking. How's the sound? Same? Normal?
It sounds good. I don't know. Speak again. Are you saying is it different?
I mean, I think I turned it back. I turned it down for a second and then I turned it back up. But I think it's the same, but I just want to be sure that it was.
I mean, it sounds good to me.
Okay.
If anything, I sound louder than you.
Look at this little baby.
I wonder where Chris went. We lost him.
No, he's not back. Oh no. Oh, he said internet is down at the hotel.
Internet's
I have
down
one
at the
bar
hotel.
on my cell. He'll
Okay.
probably do audio.
Said he could probably handle audio if you want him to try.
Yeah, I mean, come in with audio then. But also, Bob, Tom, can you talk? And then Bob, can you check the audio? I want to make sure you guys, I just noticed I have 2 audio sources from you guys. I want to know if you guys are coming in weird.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, yeah, let me
Weird.
check.
Just tell me when you start talking.
So yeah, like Tommy maybe talk, or Gina, Tommy, and then Bobby listen.
Hmm?
Well, hey then, Gina. How's your day been?
Hi, good. I'm eating peanut butter and I spilled it on this microphone.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty nice, I'd say.
We're having an ASMR experience right now.
Yeah, premium.
How's it going?
We realized that I think just because of all like my distance learning teaching, I have adapted my teacher voice to like a more. I have been informed that it's too quiet, my voice. So there were too many times that I was like.
I mean, right now you're like talking quietly. Okay, Bob, give us the deets.
Can you hear me? Hello, how's my sound?
Yeah, you sound okay.
Hi. Okay, cool.
I mean, does it sound okay? Oh, the Zoom callers
are.
Okay, so have they been doing that the whole time, or just since we got back?
What do you mean?
Wait, what happened?
How about now? Everybody on Zoom talk.
Hello, testing.
Hello. I'm eating peanut butter.
Hello.
Testing.
Hello.
1, 2, 3.
I think that was the double audio source. I think that was what I was figuring out in the beginning.
What was it?
I have 2 audio sources that were pulling in the Zoom audio, but then also the mic speakers audio, and so
Okay.
I turned down one. I think it's okay now.
Okay, I've got audio. That's helpful.
Hi.
It
It's
is
like-
helpful.
It's just like boom, everything goes down, and my kids are in here like, Daddy, the Roku's not working. Our switches aren't working. I'm like, oh my god, I had a book when I was a kid. I'm like, there's also regular television. You can watch regular television, guys.
What is that?
What is this television you speak of?
Actually, I didn't even check to see if the cable's down here or not. Just for some, I called the front desk and he said, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, the internet access is down property wide. We're working hard to fix it right now." I'm like, "Yep."
Great.
I'm sure there's a lot of people here, a lot of engineering folks here at 10 p.m. during a COVID quarantine.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I think I fixed the echo. Chat says I did, so that's good. Okay, so I hope everyone emptied their bladders and they're ready for the next 5 hours.
Ruh-roh.
Okay, so
Guys, it's not 5 hours if you're in the chat and that terrified you. That's not the case.
anything you guys want to do here before moving on to the polis?
No. I mean, I just want to, get over here.
Okay, then let's do it. I'm gonna let's get off this map for a second.
It just looks like Chris is just staring creepily into the camera.
That's about right.
That's the best part to me.
It's got that kind of like
notice any difference at all.
It's got kind of like that warm smile, but the kind of like I'll slide the knife in between your ribs.
A little bit. It's a twitch of the eyes, like I'm gonna stab you.
Yeah, I got this weird thing with the one eye. It's where I always got to try to correct that in pictures.
Oh, really?
I smile harder on one side.
I actually do too. I kind of do like a weird half smirk. I hate it, but I do.
I just look like a pervert. I just look like a creepy guy. As I get older, Lynn's like, "Chris, you just look like an old man pervert. And if you put on Old Spice right now, you're probably a pedophile." Perfect.
Put on some Dracar Noir.
Oh my god! Yes. Cool water.
All right, so if we are done with the examining the bodies, we are going to head into the nearby polis. Okay, so the polis that you guys were headed to, is Meletis, and so I just want to tell you guys a little bit about Meletis. Meletis is a beacon of learning. It's a beacon of knowledge, magic, but more importantly, philosophy. There are several schools of philosophy and philosophers that sort of run the show there. They're a very sort of democratic sort of polis. They have an army there of hoplites called the Reverent Army that practices battlefield tactics, and they're saturated with religious devotion. They believe that their piety leads the gods to smile upon them. But they also have extensive training in both battlefield tactics and magic, and that gives them an edge often. Non-humans in Meletis, for the most part, Meletis strives to kind of be this beacon of hope to all of Theros' people. But some cultures, some of the non-humans have some differing views of the city, just kind of because of the past. For instance, few Leonin journey to Meletis, and that's just because they remember it as the kind of the city-state before what it is now, which was this sort of tyrannical government ran by a dictator named Agnomachos, and it was an age that was just the Leonin considered a cursed age. And so for the most part, Leonin do not seek out travel to Meletis, but some have, and they found that it's changed in recent years and has a lot of potential for trade and cooperation. Satyrs often have little patience for the philosophy of the Meletians. They often visit out of curiosity, just kind of to see kind of what's going on there. Minotaurs are rarely seen in Meletis, but those who are peaceful are welcome. Tritons find work there, but it's usually somewhere in or near the water parts of the city that other Meletians are not well suited for. So at the docks and things like that. But there's also some work to be found that's not related to the sea. There's a lot of Triton restaurants, chemists, and many members of the Revenant Army are also Triton. So that's Meletis in a nutshell. You guys are headed into Meletis. It's a very large city. Your plan originally was with this group of travelers. You guys were going to head into the city and see if there was, work to be set up on new scouting parties in the area and things like that. And you've all been set up a room at an tavern inn called the Angry Buzzard. Okay? So the Angry Buzzard is sort of a middle of the road sort of inn tavern. It's not as sleazy as some of the seaside taverns, but not as upscale as some of the accommodations you can find in some of the more philosophical districts. You all have rooms there, and that is where your wagon train kind of ends. Okay, so the wagon with your dead returned body and and your new horse, you roll up to the Angry Buzzard, and here we are. Now, maybe your plans have changed. I don't know. So let's talk it out. What do we want to do while we're in the town?
Well, we do have this dead body.
To contend with.
Yeah, we should probably deal with that.
I would suggest yes.
I still do have this mask. I can take an etching, of the runes on it, and then melt it down, and we can get a little gold out of it.
Do as you will. I don't think the man's using it is going to be using it anymore.
Right.
So perhaps we should, if everyone is willing, attempt to maybe drop off his body at a temple and see if they may know something that could help us.
I'm uncertain. There are a significant number of temples in the area that will definitely want to take a return. We can check, but I also don't necessarily think we want to, cause the potential, ill will towards us right away as we first get into this town. I think we should definitely explore the opportunity to potentially give it over to someone, but very, very carefully.
Well,
there was a lot of questionable things in my speech right there. A lot of potentialities, a lot of possibilities.
Do we know, or do any of us know off the cuff, if there's any temples in town? Or...
So there are many temples. In fact, Meletis is one of the most pious of polises. Like, you can find temples to any god, and also sometimes temples to many of the gods. So there, it's really just kind of up to you where you want to head in terms of temples.
well, we could ask the innkeeper, couldn't we?
True.
Yeah, I want to talk to that guy anyway and see if maybe.
Would I know by chance from my knowledge there about?
Would you know what?
Would I know that if there was a type of temple that would otherwise be predisposed to getting a returned disposed with them?
Almost all temples will take dead bodies and prepare them, but that for the most part, if you know that somebody belonged to a certain religion, that you probably should take them to that temple. And returned are almost exclusively related to Phenax.
So yeah, we can speak to the innkeeper, and maybe he knows if a temple at least gives lip service to Phenax, that, if some of them worship multiple gods, it may be a possibility, perhaps. I take the body off the cart, and I put it near the front door of the inn on the outside, and I say, "You stay here."
You're getting some strange looks from passersby, but you're large and kind of imposing.
Only Leonin in the city.
Yeah. So as you walk into the Angry Buzzard, you notice it has just turned night, right? The sun was setting when you were in your battle. So The tavern itself is starting to kind of gather some people. You know, they're sitting around in tables, kind of drinking and doing what they can to kind of wash away the heat of the day. And there's a
Going to bars.
stout there's a stout balding man behind the bar, and he seems to be cleaning off the counter. You would imagine he's probably the proprietor.
Okay.
That man obviously doesn't know much about this place. We should look for someone that looks completely indistinct.
I walk up to a random person at a table.
Yeah. Say there, you fair wench. I look at a small child.
You see a Shimi Ruiz. He's mopping the corner.
Oh.
Ask him.
Oh.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I'd like to approach that guy, but I'm imagining that's exactly what Gina was going to say, so I'm going to let Gina can
I'm
do it.
like, I've been talking a lot. I'm going to talk less for a while.
That's basically kind of what I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking for myself.
So I
Both of us, same club. Quiet, Gina.
I approach the bar. And first I ask for a drink. So I order an ale.
He slides a frosty ale over to you. I say frosty, but it's mostly lukewarm.
You used the word frosty
That's-
like 3 times tonight.
Did I really?
You have.
Rhea's got the right idea, so I shoulder up next to her at the bar and I order one as well.
This is nice bar speak. Shoulder.
Has been a strange day.
You know what? I'll go and join them for an ale. And I say, I would like 1 ale. I killed a man today. And you know what? I deserve one.
He gives you a look of sort of like, and
Don't worry, he attacked us first.
I tip him as I'm paying generously now to deal with it.
Maybe less with the secret telling, Yuri.
Yeah. And I said, ignore my friend here. We were wondering if there's any temples in town that might serve this god that I want to call Phenax, but it's not. It's Phenax.
Phenax.
Phenax. There we go.
So as you begin talking to this barkeep, a skinny-looking fellow walks through the door and shouts to the bartender, "Hey, Durandus, you know you got a dead guy out here?"
Oh, that's mine.
What?
Sorry, that's mine. Like, I'm still kind of looking around at the tavern. And I say, we're gonna take him to a temple. He seemed like an okay guy.
Yeah.
So the bartender, he's not really interested.
Across the bar.
He's not really interested in having a dead body outside of his inn. So he quickly gives you directions to a temple that worships many gods and that is very open to taking bodies to give them a proper dispensing.
He seemed like an okay guy. He was dead when we met him. But,
That was actually like it was the best feature of his personality, to be honest.
Do you have perhaps a tarp I could borrow? Something of that sort.
He calls it
Maybe a bucket.
Or a couple buckets.
He calls one of his employees that is kind of sweeping up around, and it's a young boy, and he sends him to the back, and he comes back with some canvas, like a big, stack of canvas, and he's carrying it out in his hands, and he hands it to the lion man.
I say, thank you, young man. I will wrap that corpse and put him in the alley, and I'll get rid of him soon. Don't worry. And I walk out.
What is the what is the tavern?
The Angry Buzzard.
No. What is the guy's name?
It is Durandus.
So
Angry Buzzard.
how does Durandus's mood seem now that we've...
Seems like honestly, it seems like he wants you guys out of here.
All right, so I lean in and I say, I realize that we've not made quick friends with you, but just a question. Do you ever, have musicians play here or anybody, where I could maybe get a gig somewhere, maybe?
He says, he looks you up and down. He says, "Yeah, we do musicians here.
I'd like to play with other musicians. So, if anybody needs like a dulcimer player, or also I can like pound my hooves, percussion a little.
Yeah, that would be something we might be interested in, but you're not gonna always be bringing dead bodies around,
No, I
right?
mean that dead body wasn't even ours. We were just trying to help out.
Yeah. You know, it would really help me if you could get that dead body
No.
away from my business.
We got it. We're gonna take it.
Cause I don't know if you noticed, but he's not even like a regular dead body. He's like a really gross one.
Just we're working
Pretty
on
cool,
it.
man.
Just
These are my friends, and they are men of their word.
Men and women. They are men and women.
Do-
Men and women
Mindless
of-
people of their
Of
word.
their word.
do maybe your friends want to get rid of that dead body then?
We're gonna get rid of the body.
We're gonna finish our drinks, which I'm pretty sure we
You know what? You could take those drinks to go. That's fine.
like they.
It's
get
really
it.
fine.
Really? Aw, thanks. I
All
appreciate
right, but
it.
you'll call. I'll come back. We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll talk business later. Like when the dead body's not outside.
Right then the door opens and like Nicandros comes in, like one paw holding the door open. I have a corpse tied up with canvas like slung over my shoulder. I say, don't, oh no, this is out of here. I'm getting this out of here. Should we, you know what? I'll be outside. And I go,
I take the mug and I start following after him. Wait for me, Nicandros. Help.
He
Goes
seems heavily relieved as your large friends leave with the rotting corpse.
it's wrapped up.
As I leave, off to the side there was a little like white furred dachshund who was kind of near me, and as I go to leave, it follows me out.
I'm sorry, what is that?
It's like a kind of like a wiener dog. It's a wiener dog.
You have a wiener dog?
I
Yeah.
I've never heard Dachshund. I've heard Dachshund. But
No, Dachshund is right.
I like Dachshund better, to be honest. I like it better.
I mean, that's probably closer to being accurate.
Dachshund.
no, I'm not saying
Dachshund.
one is more accurate than the other. I just never heard that. I'm an uncultured boob. I'm sorry.
And then it turned to dachshund.
What's his name?
Oh.
Well, you asked him.
Well, ask him.
Sorry.
You want
Oh,
me
you're
to-
asking me?
You want me to-
You're not talking to
Oh.
the cops,
I
right?
should have.
Hello, Mr. Dog. What is your name?
Oh, that is my faithful war beast, Malice. Look at him. Look at how terrifying he is. He's a very small dog.
His name.
Not at all scary. In fact, he kind of like
Terrifying
stays
me.
near me, behind me.
Sorry,
Down.
can I hold him?
Sure.
I pick him up and I look at you and I say, his name is Al
No, his name is Malice.
Malice.
It
Okay.
strikes
not-
fear into the hearts of men.
I
doesn't
honestly
seem-
thought that was a rat. I didn't know that was a rat.
He doesn't
How
seem
dare
very
you,
scary.
Nicandros? Look at him. Look how ferocious he
Nicandros
is.
ate it.
I've stepped on him 3 times already. I thought it was someone else's.
A return.
Yes,
All right.
that's what it looks like. It looks like a returned dog. Someone that would.
That's very rude, Fishman.
All right, are we doing this?
Okay, so you have a dead body. You're standing outside of the Angry Buzzard,
We're not
which is
gonna-
getting angrier by the moment.
We're getting drunk.
Oh, I brought a corpse to a buzzard. I guess I'm the asshole.
All right, so are you you're gonna take this corpse to the temple that he sent you to?
Sure.
Yes.
It's like, and then we'll go drinking.
All right. So it only takes you about 10 or 15 minutes to make it across town. Nicandros is carrying this corpse over his body. It's wrapped up in canvas, but it's pretty obvious what it is.
Two horses and a cart. Do we not?
Oh, well, not the cart. That belonged to someone else, but you do have a horse.
We have one horse.
And
You have one horse.
actually, the horse and this gentleman were once acquainted, so he may be.
This horse
Amenable.
likes me better. Fontina's
Probably.
mine.
Gina's like, I take every chance to earn a horse in D&D.
This is the fact. This is gonna happen. I'm so excited.
This is my horse now.
It is my horse.
Okay.
But you're welcome to use it for your body lugging needs.
Oh, I could Go all day. This barely weighs anything.
Oh, dokie.
Yes, Nicandros is a fine specimen of a Leonin.
That's right.
All right, so you begin moving across the city. Your little party of 5.5, if we count the corpse as a half, and pretty soon you approach the temple. You can see it is like a sorry, my brain's not working right now. Polytheistic temple, right? There's many like statues to different gods out front. As you approach, you can see even the clerics themselves are kind of dressed in the different trappings as they talk to people out front or are working in different areas of the temples. And as you bring the dead body up, a couple attendants come up and actually take the body from you, as is like custom when you bring a body to a temple like this, where they're going to prepare it, its funeral rites and things like that.
Okay.
And a man comes out and he's dressed sort of in like green and silvers, like long robes, and he says, "Is there anything special that you would like us to prepare for this soul?"
I look around at everyone. Thoughts?
Well, what's free?
Oh, it is all free. We understand the importance of sending the soul to the underworld, and so we perform that, right, free of charge. We would
What if
never
we wanted to-
desecrate. We would never desecrate a corpse by stealing its funerary, or not sending it off properly, or anything like that.
Right. No,
Right.
definitely. Right. Right.
I give a pointed look to Seer.
I give a pointed look back.
I kind of turn and I say, I do believe this man. He was slain by wicked folk. So while I may not say he was a hero, he did die a warrior's death.
We met him dead.
Listen,
he was running away. He was running away from a
That
mob.
may make him an unsuccessful warrior, but that doesn't necessarily make him not a warrior.
Yeah, he didn't die from consumption. He had 10 arrows in his back.
It was dysentery.
There's no way to know.
Okay, we will take that into consideration as we send him to the ferrymen. Thank you for your service.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I have his mask. If you
Oh.
want it.
He already has a mask. He asked.
He already has a mask. Yes.
Was this man a returned?
He was.
Is the body that decomposed that you can't tell?
Well, he was wrapped in canvas, if you recall.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Canvas.
He
Well,
says,
then I do the big reveal and show them the body, the returned.
do you show him the mask, or do you just say that you
I
have
show
the
him the
mask?
mask. I show him the mask.
He looks it over and says, "Interesting," as he holds it in his hands and flips it over. He says, "This is the mask that this man was wearing."
Yes. I don't make it a point of carrying around masks that return to Vorn.
So he seems to be looking over the various glyphs and writings that are on the back, trying to, decipher what he can. And after just kind of like a couple minutes, he looks up from the mask and he said, "This is a very complex cipher. I was only able to decipher one small portion of it. This line here," and he points to somewhere in the center of the mask, and it says, "Hid from the eyes of mortals and gods, lies wither in Orestes' rot."
Orestes?
Orestes, yes.
Wait, can you say that again slowly and
Hid-
sensually?
Hid from the eyes of mortals and gods, lies within Orestes' rot.
What do you know about the letters KHEA?
Oh, Kea? Kea is
yes.
Kea is a local sage of some renown. She lives just right outside of the city limits.
I point out the area on the mask where I read KHEA and say, don't these glyphs say KHEA?
Yes, no, they do. That's a good eye. When I was reading it over, I I didn't see it, but you're right. It does.
I'd like to sense if he's trying to deceive us.
Go ahead, roll an insight.
Okay.
Can I roll to see if there's a priest of my god available?
If there's a what?
If there's a priest of Crufix available?
You don't need to roll. You can ask.
Oh. Okay, I'll just ask him.
17.
So Rhea, he says yes, there is, and he gives you a quick directions on where within the temple you would be able to find that priest.
Okay, thank you.
Seer, you do not believe he's lying. He seems like he's telling the truth to you.
I guess it would take a lot for a priest to try to lie to me, but I'm just wondering.
So
he was about to say something. Sorry.
Oh no, he just says, yeah, the only Kea I know is this sage, but she's she's very good at what she does. I don't know, perhaps this mask was meant for her in some way.
Is she still with us?
Yes, no, she lives in a small cottage near the end of the polis, or near the edge of the polis.
Perhaps we should pay her a visit.
Indeed. And a sage would most likely know best about the messages we saw. Is there a little... is there a altar to Helion here?
Oh, of course. Almost every temple has some sort of, altar to Heliod.
Okay, I'm gonna go there and just leave some coin, like as an offering.
Okay. Rhea, were you looking for something specific with Crufix, or?
Well, I was gonna ask the priest to interpret the message, but I think I'll just pray if we're gonna go to the sage that's named.
Okay.
That's fine.
Anybody else want to do anything while we're here? You do not have to. Just asking. Okay, so it is about a couple hours after sundown. You are in the city. You have rooms at the Angry Buzzard. It's up to you what you'd like to do next.
I'd like to go see Kea.
You said it's just sunset, or?
It's like a couple hours after sunset.
Yeah, I think, assuming it's not too late, I think we could try it tonight and, try to see her tonight.
Yeah, as long as we're not like in disturbing hours or something. But...
Right. I think it's like midnight, no. But...
No, it's only a couple hours after. It's like, maybe 8 o'clock.
Is that a friendly time to make a visit?
Well, that's up to you. What do you think's a friendly time?
Let's just go now.
All right. I mean, it can't be any worse than our last arrival somewhere where we were, bringing a dead body. We're leaving the body, correct?
Yeah, you're leaving the body.
We're taking the mask.
I mean, if he really didn't want a dead body outside of his establishment, he should have put a sign out there.
That's
no
true.
Dead bodies.
That's a good point.
This
is really his fault.
Explicitly state.
Okay, so what do you want to do? You want to head to Kea's house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we left yet?
No, you can do whatever you.
Can I ask? Is there something to prefer us here?
Sorry, say it again.
Like
Perforos?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go and to honor him, I'm going to destroy the mug from the tavern as it has outlived its usefulness to me. And then I scamper. What's the word? Scamper. I scamper back to the group.
Okay, good. All right, so we're headed to Kea's house?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, before we do, chat, I need your help. If you're still there, if you're still around, I put up a little straw poll.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
If you're there, please answer the straw poll for me. That will help me as we guide our adventurers forward.
That's not funny.
Here, I dropped the link. It's not through Twitch. It's just a link you can answer.
It's like being in our distance learning class.
Okay, so while we wait for that, let's talk about our journey. Okay, so we are headed toward Kaya's house, right? So you talked to this priest at the temple, and he gave you some information on how you can find her. And he told you that she is a local sage of some renown, right? She's pretty famous around the area. She is also an accomplished herbalist, and so most people know where she lives. And oftentimes, they said she's a very busy woman. She has people coming and going a lot, so it should be no problem for you to find your way to her and to meet up with her. So it takes you about 30 minutes or so to get to her cottage. It's on the edge of town. If you direct yourself to roll 20.
Ooh.
That's a little difficult for me, so I'm going to try to imagine it.
I'll be very descriptive, Chris.
Okay.
Okay, so Kaya's cottage, as you approach, it is very nondescript. It's near the edge of the polis, like I said.
I'll be very descriptive. It's nondescript.
So, as you approach, you can see it's just sort of, by itself out there. There's a couple of trees and large rocks. It's kind of surrounded by grasslands. As you approach, you see it's quite small. It's a very small cottage. As you're approaching, on the left-hand side, there's a small garden that you can see, where she grows some of her herbs and things like that. There's some wood that's been piling up on the right, and you can see that the lights inside the cottage are on. So,
All right.
So what are we doing?
It does garden boxes?
I think in an instance like this, we should probably make our presence known well in advance of walking up and surprising.
I say, and I shall stay in the back, for I am sometimes terrifying.
I kind of look over at Seer and ask if he thinks we should create some sort of noisy, or should we just knock on the door? What do you mean?
I think maybe if we speak loudly and then knock upon the door with a gingerly knock, that should be okay. Just so we're not like a constable knock or something like that. Loud end of a baton.
Okay.
Am I the least freaky one? Am I knocking on the door?
What do you mean by freaky?
I mean,
You know exactly what I mean.
all of the shadows on your body are filled with stars, but
Strong point.
That's true.
but it looks awesome.
Okay. Well, is this the door here?
Also, do I have to put? Oh, I'm new to roll 20. I didn't realize I have to put control of you guys every time.
Yeah, unless we make them like our characters.
I did that though. I did that. I don't know why I don't know.
We have to pull them off though.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's not a big deal. I'm doing it right now.
Okay. Well,
Let's see.
what's her name? Kaya?
Kaya.
Well, I bound over to the door then. I'm little and friendly.
Do it, girl.
Hello! And I just kind of knock on the door. Anyone home? And then
That was a good sound effect, Mandy.
That was a good thing. A Foley.
So you hear, hello? It's rather late.
I thought so too. We won't keep you long. My name's Calliope. How are you tonight?
I'm tired, and it's rather late.
Well, we'll make it fast. My friend here'd like to ask you a question. And I kind of step out of the way.
She opens the door. Kind of. She's just standing on the inside of her cottage, and she says, "What friend?"
That's me, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll move it. Oh, I can move it.
Here,
So, again, we sincerely apologize for the interruption this late in the evening. That was not our intention at all to take you out of out of your home at this late hour. However, we encountered an individual, now deceased, on the road here into town. That individual happened to be a return, and the.
she cut you off. Look, it's very late right now. Perhaps you could come back tomorrow morning.
We
Perhaps
saw
I could just. Oh, you. Perhaps I could just finish my quick question.
It's it's very late. It's awfully late. Come back tomorrow morning.
I then start a kind of sleight of hand, like 10 gold pieces.
Wait, you want a sleight of hand into her pocket or what?
No, sorry. I mean, I mean, like like you would suavely, smoothly pull out 10 gold pieces and just have them kind of, the knuckle, walking them across the knuckle kind of thing, Doc Holliday style.
Okay. She says, my consultation fee is 3 gold tomorrow.
What is it for tonight?
Are you hitting on me, young man?
What if we tripled your fee? Would you talk to us then tonight?
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Well, that I can do for the moment. 23.
She looks you up and down and she says, all right, come inside. Except for you. And she points at Fury. And she says, there's something I just don't like about your look. And you kind of smell also. Go wash yourself off.
I smell. What do I smell of?
You smell of stink.
No, that's a smell of victory. Of victory in battle.
Okay, well, go wash some of that victory off. There's a well out back.
Go wash some of that victory off.
What about my dog Malice here? Can he come inside?
Yes, he can come in.
Okay. I'd look down. Run along, Malice.
Run along, Malice.
Go inside.
All right, so she leads you guys into her home.
I follow her inside, making sure to gingerly step around anything that might get knocked over or anything like that.
Well,
Yeah.
head inside.
He
Okay.
can't, but
I can't.
Well, I'll make I'll make everybody. Everybody can control that Chris icon.
Oh, good.
gotta put it there. Oh, sorry.
Well, this
I put it
is
in the
a
back.
lovely
She
home.
she
and
closes the door on Fury.
So rude.
Oh my
I
god.
mean,
Like-
he's looking for a well.
I look through the window at Fury, just like waving.
I go shit behind her bushes.
Sorry, Fury. You can blame your friends in chat for that one.
That's great.
Okay, so as you enter her home, you see that that it's very cramped. Right, the entire room is filled with books and scrolls and there's just like dried herbs hanging everywhere. There's kind of a smell of lavender in the air, and it's very cramped. I mean, as you can see, right, like.
Like the good lavender or like the lavender they sell at Bath and Body Works?
This is the good stuff. Homegrown.
Okay.
Homegrown lavender.
Homegrown.
Artisanal.
Locally sourced.
Locally sourced.
She says, all right, so what is it I can help you with?
Well, as I was mentioning, upon the journey into town, we came upon an individual now deceased. We actually dropped him off at the temple. Not too
While you're
long ago.
talking, Kia walks over to the window and like peers out at Fury and says, she like opens the window and says, make sure you scrub that stink off. I can smell you from here.
Thank you for the advice, old lady.
She closes the window. I'm sorry. You were saying something?
Yes, I'm not important. Yes, I was saying something. So we came upon an individual, now deceased, who appeared to actually be a returned. Upon his burial mask, or upon his mask,
We
written
found something
in,
with your name on it. I say that.
She
yes,
seems to.
I was getting there. I had a reason and a bravado to the way that I talk cadence, but apparently my friend here is very, very impatient.
Excited.
She seems to kind of perk up at the name being said. That her name is on there, and she says, "Let me see that mask."
Okay, I'd like to kind of sense motive.
Go roll. While you roll, Fury, you hear a little like squeaking noise from the north, like.
Seeing how his fury is bored as shit out here, he would go to investigate.
All right, so you can see these planter boxes, to
18.
the north. There's like you think you heard it from one of these boxes. Would you like to search through them?
Sure, what? Wait, hold on. Is there a window that can easily look out at me?
Nope. The windows are on the east side of the cottage and on the south side.
I go to look down. Why not? Sure,
All
he
right.
doesn't care.
Roll a search or an investigate. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Seer, what did you roll for your insight?
18.
18. She seems curious about what's going on. That you think that's what that's her like motivation. It doesn't seem sinister. It just seems curious.
Okay.
14.
Sorry. Go ahead. We'll get you in a second, Fury. What did you say, sir?
I hand her the mask.
All right. So she begins looking over the mask, turning it over in her hands, and she says, interesting. She keeps
Do you
saying,
mind elaborating upon what is interesting?
She says, well, here we see this inscription. It's very painfully obvious. Purposefully direct, in fact. It says, hid from eyes of mortals and gods lies Wither and Orestes rot. But, that's not the only thing. You see, as I kind of go through this, this is not only a cipher, but this is an incomplete one. In fact, many letters have been removed in an indiscernible pattern. She keeps looking over the code, trying to figure it out. She's reading. She heads over to the corner of her cottage, pushing past everybody, over to the scroll cases by the bookcases where she, where you first entered. And she's like digging through some of the big jars, finding scrolls. And she ends up pulling one out and rolling it out on this little table here. And it seems to be going between the scroll and the mask, trying to decipher something.
What are you seeing?
Quiet. I'm trying to figure it out.
What are you seeing?
I look at Calliope and Rhea, and I say, "What's a cipher?"
I put my finger up to my mouth and I just shh. I give him the shh sign.
I would probably know what a cipher is, and if I did, I would tell him.
So, Fury, you hear that squeak again. And you begin kind of searching through the little planter boxes. And underneath a large bush, you find a little plant that looks like it's in the shape of a man. Yeah, like a little chubby man, and its body is the thick stem of the plant, and it's the leaves are like the hair of him.
I look down at it. Oh, what are you little guy?
He's got a little face, and he says, "Help me, help me.
Oh no.
Help you with what?
I don't want to be an herb.
What do you want to be, little plant man?
I want to be an adventurer.
You want to be an adventurer?
Oh,
That's
little boy.
very sad. Why do you want to be an adventurer?
Because I don't want to be an herb no more. I don't want to grow in a planter and be used for some sort of ritual. I just want to see the world."
I don't want to be a
I
pie.
did
Well.
want to be a pie.
That is very sad, because if I was a plant, I wouldn't want to be one anymore. I agree there. I would want to be an adventurer. Why should I do this for you?
What are you going to do for me? You're going to bring me on adventure with you?
I could. Do you want to?
I do want to, yes. I would like to explore the world. I think it would be really nice out there.
Well, I can't argue with that logic. I really can't. So how do I remove you?
You just have to be really gentle. If you are not gentle, you're gonna hurt me and I will die.
Well, normally I like killing, but now I feel bad. Sure. And I, without any care or abandon, possibly pissing off this sage, I go and try to, as gently as I can, remove this thing.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll a sleight of hand.
I'm gonna
Sleight
have
of
you
hand.
roll a how screwed are you?
Let's find out.
So liberate
Well, I
plants.
rolled low, but I'm gonna use one of my fate/luck points to
Nice.
re-roll because I got a 9 and I don't want a 9. Whoopang!
So what'd
That's
you roll?
much better. This time I rolled an 18, which
Nice.
is no, that's not right. Okay, I got a 20.
You got a 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take your meaty fist and you wrap it around this little plant, and you're trying to be as gentle as possible, but your brutish strength, you pull him up and you think that you got it just right, and he begins screaming, "Oh no! Oh no! I think you pulled me out wrong! I think I'm gonna explode!" And you see him like violently shaking in your hands.
Oh God.
What do you do? What do you do?
I quickly try and shut him up by putting my hand over his mouth.
You put your hand over his mouth?
Yeah.
He says,
I
That's
go
what they all say.
I go and stuff him in my bag.
Okay, so you take this plant and you stuff him into your bag, and you hear some muffles for a moment, but then it goes silent.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right, so back inside Kia's house.
Okay, so in the first session, we've carried around 2 dead bodies. Just heads up.
So Kia says, looking at this mask, it is clear to me that this is referring to the court of Aristes. This is a legendary tomb of one of Phenax's earliest followers. You see, Orestes was said to be a master thief and an oracle, just like me. He foresaw that everyone who would return from the grave. And according to myth, this site holds Phenax's silence. We're not really sure what it is. It could be an object or perhaps just a poetic flourish. But the fact that this is the one readable line, this makes me believe that the key to translating this document lies in that tomb.
And how far away is that?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, young lady, the exact location of the court of Aristes is lost to history. It's just quite lost. I'm afraid it's a mystery that will never be solved.
Oh.
Well, maybe I spoke too soon. There are ancient tales. She pulls out a book and kind of flips through it. and points to a picture of a river. In fact, it's the Kistanos River, which you know is about 3 days travel away from Meletis. And she says, you know, normally, this information might not mean much, but my sources have told me that there was an earthquake near this river just a few days ago, and that the dammed up headwaters from the Kistanos deep within the Cachetan Mountains reduced the river's flow to a trickle. And it's been parching the region downstream. And many farmers have been concerned, but there has been discoverings of ancient etchings and ruined structures hidden beneath the waterline. And it's been something that's piqued my interest. This would match the legend of the court of Aristes.
And does not the mask say wither and rot?
Well, yes, it says, hid from mortal eyes and gods, lies wither in Orestes' rot. And this is why I believe it is speaking about the court of Aristes. The court of Aristes was a tomb.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if my companions have told you yet, but we believe we were given a message from Phenax upon picking up this mask.
Tell me about this message.
While our new friend Seer held it, it erupted with a flash of bright light, and everything in the world grew dim and desaturated. I don't know that word. And a few of us have received messages from gods before, and we're fairly certain that's what this was.
No, I describe kind of the feeling that I had while holding it, while it was experiencing that colorful light.
Interesting. This clearly, to me, seems to be a sign of Phenax, and his verification of the gods' ominous interest in this enigma. I think it would be unwise not to explore this further. Was there anything else, any other clues that may help us in deciphering our next plan of action?
Does it count that we almost have the same name? Is that a clue?
No, it's a very common collection of vowels in this time period. Highly.
Well, these folks that were attempting to kill the man who wore this mask, they were two returned, and they had what was it? Undercoin, a straka.
Interesting. Sometimes leaders of the return use Ostraka as messaging devices. Was there anything written on it?
Yeah, I was saying, does anybody remember exactly what was written about getting the heretic?
It says they were trying to silence the heretic before he could do something. Sorry.
I didn't write it.
Do you still have it with you? You probably
do.
Yeah. It said, silence the heretic Various. His secrets must remain dead. Do you tell her what it says?
Yeah.
She says, that's very interesting. There was once a dangerous, rabble-rousing oracle who was devoted to Phenax named Various. But he died mysteriously years ago. He was not a fan of me, to be honest. He was a troublemaker. One time I critically savaged his satirical comedy. I believe it was called The Satyr's Half-Horn. And you know, I wouldn't even put it past that petty priest to harass me, even in death. That's probably why he's put my name on it, that mask.
Oh boy.
That is a big kind of blood feud. Past the grave.
Well, if, is this something that you, are interested in undertaking? Seeking out this court of Orestes?
No, I think we're good. We're gonna go back to the tavern, get a FedEx quest or something like that.
I say, well, I have some experience in these matters, and I do not believe it wise to ignore the direct message of a god, especially one as tricksome as Phenax.
I agree with you, young man. It is the gods do not look kindly upon those who ignore their omens, and that Phenax is a particularly dangerous enemy to make.
Plus, I want to be honest with you all. I'm enjoying your company.
Yes, very nice.
I nod and I say, well, I guess let's go. Let's party.
All right. Well, if you are going to go, I could use your help. As a sage, as an oracle, you can see here I love collecting little bits and bobs from antiquity. Antiquity.
Do you like the drink as well?
Antiquity. And
I was having a nightcap.
I told you it was very late. If you were to perhaps bring back a collection of rubbings and historic artifacts from the court of Orestes, I could definitely pay you, probably depending on the quality of the items, up to 200 gold pieces each.
Oh my.
I'd like to. I'd like to determine whether or not she might be trying to undercut us on this.
Yeah, go ahead, roll insight.
Is it 200 gold just total?
Each.
For a bunch?
Each.
Oh, wow. Well, hello. Like
17.
Seer, you think she doesn't seem to be trying to deceive you in any way?
I think you might be a little light on the cost on those there, Kia.
Kia says, well, look, until we have the artifacts or rubbings in our hands, there's really no way to tell how much they're worth. But this is my initial offer, at least.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Now, would you have anything that would potentially be able to help us on our journey into said nightmare tomb?
I can definitely provide you with a map. I think that would be helpful. Not of the tomb, but of, the area and direction to where the ruins were discovered along the Kistanos.
What about some of your bubbles, and, bottles of potions and other potential totems, things like that?
Well, I assume you're not leaving tonight?
No.
Well, if you swing by tomorrow morning, I have a very rare herb in my garden. It's called a living mandrake root. And honestly, I probably could use it to make some sort of powerful potion that could help you guys out on your journey. So stop by tomorrow morning, and I'll have it brewed up for you.
Of course.
Great.
Could you tell us before we go? Though I suppose we'll be here tomorrow morning. But I'm curious now. What potential dangers lurk in the court of Orestes?
Honestly, it's a relatively safe journey. I imagine you will have no trouble whatsoever along your way. A simple in and out job. You'll be back in no time.
Like to detect
Sounds
that she's
about right.
lying.
I like, you see Nicandros ponder for a second, and he's like, that seems on the level, sure.
I mean, no more dangerous than just the average wilds around Theros, But you know what? I've honestly not been keeping track too much of what's been going on in terms of dangers. I mostly am held up in this cottage. That could be something. Ask around the polis tonight. See if any travelers have any news. I'm sure maybe you could discover some secrets or rumors that might help you on your journey.
What kind of rumors?
Well, that's something you're going to have to roll about, young man.
Well, thank you for your time, Myth, and your aid. Perhaps we should retire for debriefing at Cottage. No, yes, but yes, essentially.
I say good night, name twin.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Sorry we stayed so late.
And I assure you, our friend Fury will receive an excellent bath before next time.
Yes, please make sure.
I shall see to it personally.
Is so the living plant has gone quiet, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's what we call death. Yes.
As everyone starts leaving, I decide to look in my bag and look down into it. What's the plant look like right now?
So, as you guys walk away from the cottage, thinking about what you're gonna do tonight and how you're gonna prepare for your 3-day journey, you see not Furry. you see Fury look down into his bag, and he has a little smile across his face. Fury, as you look into your bag, you see the living mandrake root. He's laying on his back, looking up at you, and he does this.
And I look down. I just smile and nod.
And that's where we're gonna end it tonight.
Yay!
Yay!
That's so
That was
good.
great, Bill.
That
That was
was
really
fun.
fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. That was our first stream.
Go
How-
team.
How does it feel, streamers?
I feel good.
You're pros
Yeah.
now.
That
You're
is
professional
fun.
streamers. Add it to the resume.
It was
Pros.
fun.
I'm getting a phone call from Dr. Disrespect right now.
I'm gonna get a shirt that shows more cleavage, but other than that, I feel fine.
Well,
I feel as though at some point someone should stand up and all of a sudden nip slip or something.
Well, once we want to get a little heat going,
Right?
yeah, you got it. Well, I had a great time.
Yeah, this is
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I had a blast. That was
Chat,
so much fun.
how do you feel, chat? Did you like it? Do you want to come back for episode 2 or what? I'm gonna come back regardless. So
I didn't
Me
get
too.
to play
Of
the
course.
pan flute at all.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Next episode. All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got. I don't know how to end this. What do
This
we
is
just
the
end it?
Tusk Noodle shot.
Join us next week as we see our heroes engage upon an epic 3-day journey through the heart of Theros.
Same noodle time, same noodle
But
channel.
now we're going to the bar.
Yeah, that's right. I'll see you after the party. We do
Yeah, we
need
need
outro
outro
music.
Yeah, and intro music.
Yeah.
And intro music. Okay, next time. Thank you, Sir. Thank you, Sir Cavill. We will find some good intro and outro music for next time. In the meantime, you're just gonna have to hear me sing.
How do we not have music?
I know, right?
I know.
All right, so I'm gonna do our outro music, and then we're gonna be out. Here we go.
Oh.
This was Tusk Noodle Shop. It was super fun today. Come back some other day. Bye. All right, Tusk
Thank you
Noodle
very
Shop.
much, guys.
Out. Everybody wave. Everybody wave. Bye.
Bye.